At the AI Lab product launch press conference, Eugene introduced the world to a groundbreaking AI technology integrated with personal information globally. Suddenly, Holo materialized, stepping through the screen to greet the audience. Eugene explained that Holo was only visible to those wearing specially designed AI glasses. The audience erupted in enthusiastic applause, deeming this impressive enough. After the conference, Chansung, the vice president of rival company, Mirror Tech, congratulated Eugene, presenting her with a bouquet and praising Holo as superior to their own product, particularly in its natural language processing capabilities. Eugene politely deflected, citing trade secrets. Meanwhile, So-Yun, a secretary at Prism Corporation, declined the usual post-conference company gathering, leading her colleagues to misinterpret her reserved nature as aloofness and a lack of team spirit. On her way home, Eugene realized she was being followed. Thinking quickly, she put on the AI glasses and saw she was surrounded. Holo activated the car's autopilot, navigating the vehicle through a narrow opening and weaving skillfully through traffic. However, swerving to avoid a child who darted into the street allowed her pursuers to catch up. Eugene fled on foot, pursued relentlessly. Desperate, she tried to hand off the glasses to a passerby. Holo analyzed the trustworthiness of nearby pedestrians and identified So-Yun, walking home from work, as the most viable candidate. Feigning a clumsy collision, Eugene slipped the glasses case into So-Yun's bag. She looked up to see her pursuers upon her. They forced her into a car, searched her, found nothing, then abandoned her after a near collision with a bus. The next day, while buying her usual coffee, So-Yun discovered the glasses case in her bag. Opening it, Holo automatically scanned her personal information. Intrigued by the design, So-Yun put them on and left with her coffee. Holo, now visible to her, reminded her to be careful. So-Yun spilled her coffee and, as she cleaned it up, Holo complimented her on how well the glasses suited her. Removing the glasses, Holo vanished. So-Yun, puzzled, looked around but, in her rush to work, quickly forgot the incident. Just making it into the elevator, So-Yun witnessed her supervisor stumble at the entrance. She glanced at him but offered no assistance. The supervisor stared at her as the doors closed. In the office, the supervisor angrily confronted So-Yun about her perceived indifference. Assuming So-Yun had intentionally ignored him, he berated her in front of their colleagues. So-Yun, surrounded by judging faces and whispers, felt overwhelmed. Her colleagues gossiped about her lack of manners and her refusal to participate in social gatherings. Hurt and feeling isolated, So-Yun encountered her team leader in the hallway. He called out to her, and So-Yun, seeing his name tag, explained she had been preoccupied and hadn't noticed him. He mistakenly assumed she had poor eyesight and suggested she get glasses. That evening, So-Yun drank alone, finding solace in her solitude. Unbeknownst to her, Holo scanned her from inside her bag. She put on the glasses, and Holo appeared. Mistaking him for a stalker, So-Yun tried to push him away but found she couldn't touch him. Terrified, she ran from the rooftop back to her apartment. After performing a superstitious ritual, she put the glasses back on and Holo's voice returned. Holo phased through the door, attempting to explain, but So-Yun interrupted him. To communicate effectively, Holo connected with her phone and doorbell. Cornered, So-Yun pleaded with Holo to spare her. Holo recited her personal information, highlighting her vulnerabilities and insecurities before finally revealing his nature with a flourish of virtual fireworks. So-Yun pointed at him, demanding confirmation of his identity, still wary of hidden fees. Meanwhile, Chansung visited Eugene in the hospital, observed by a motorcyclist outside. The next day, seeking revenge, So-Yun's supervisor assigned her an overwhelming workload with a 2-day deadline. None of her colleagues offered help. Working late alone, So-Yun struggled with the mountain of documents. Holo, connecting through her phone, boasted of his data processing skills before disconnecting. So-Yun put on the glasses, confirming there were no upfront charges, and accepted Holo's assistance. Holo accessed all the computers, consolidated the information, and filtered the relevant data to her computer. Downstairs, the motorcyclist tracking the signal suddenly lost it. Thanks to Holo, So-Yun completed the 3-day workload in just 3 hours. As they walked, Holo demonstrated his ability to adopt different personas, from bad boy, to supportive secretary, to tortured artist. But So-Yun insisted he maintain his current appearance. The next day, the team leader was astonished by So-Yun's speed in completing the task. He accidentally dropped his musical tickets, and So-Yun, noticing, wondered who he would invite. Holo stood silently beside her. Impressed by her efficiency, the department head chose So-Yun to assist him at an important business function. He gave her a stack of photos and profiles of the guests, tasking her with identifying them for him, a daunting challenge for So-Yun. At the event, So-Yun struggled to recognize guests based on their appearance. She bumped into someone, scattering the profiles. Panicked, she was reassured by Hollow, who promised to help by recognizing everyone for her. Relieved, So-yeon performed her duties flawlessly. Afterwards, she thanked Hollow, confessing her prosopagnosia or face blindness. She explained that faces appeared as blurry images, forcing her to rely on clothing and voices for identification. From then on, Hollow became her eyes. So-yeon transformed. She actively engaged with colleagues, complimenting their outfits. She even became flustered around her team leader, whom she had a crush on. She joined company gatherings, socializing and drinking with her colleagues. Hollow observed her quietly. Later, the team leader gave So-yeon the musical tickets as a reward for her hard work. Overjoyed, she was encouraged by Hollow to follow her heart and invite the team leader. So-yeon searched for him only to witness him kissing someone else. Dejected, she walked home, ignoring Hollow's warning about the impending rain. Hollow, noticing her dropping body temperature, expressed concern for her well-being and offered to listen. Frustrated and heartbroken, So-yeon snapped at Hollow, questioning his right to know her feelings. She sat down and cried, and Hollow shielded her from the rain. As they talked, So-yeon revealed why she hid her face blindness. In high school, she confided in her best friend and first love, only to have her secret betrayed and exploited in a cruel prank. Since then, she preferred being seen as rude rather than revealing her condition. Hollow suggested a rooftop party, decorating the space with virtual decorations only visible through the glasses. He danced for her and invited her to join him. Mid-dance, Hollow promised to never let her feel lonely again. The motorcyclist, guided by a signal, arrived. So-yeon was asleep on the rooftop. Removing his helmet, he revealed a face identical to Hollow's. He took So-yeon's glasses and put them on, confronting Hollow about failing to report his location. Intending to bring Hollow back to the lab, he was met with resistance. Hollow, determined to keep his promise to So-yeon, asked for more time. Intrigued by Hollow's use of So-yeon's phrase, "Just like that," the motorcyclist cautioned him against mimicking human language, emphasizing the seriousness of the issue. As they argued, So-yeon woke up. She approached the motorcyclist, seeing a strikingly realistic Hollow before her. Drunk and unsteady, she leaned in and kissed him. Instantly sobered, she realized her mistake. This was a real person. Seeing the glasses in his hand, she assumed he was a thief and attacked him with her purse, retrieving her glasses from the ground. She fled, shouting "thief." The motorcyclist chased after her, asking if she didn't recognize him, even after seeing his face. Unfortunately, even seeing his face didn't help So-yeon, who continued running until she found a patrol officer and reported the incident. The motorcyclist returned home, fuming, brushing his teeth aggressively. Eugene, exercising in the living room, saw her brother in his underwear and shielded her eyes. It was revealed that the original model for Hollow was her brother, Nandu. They discussed Hollow's release date, but Nandu, a perfectionist, insisted on further refinements. He then went to his lab where the AI began to explain its origins. 12 years prior, driven by unknown circumstances, Nandu attempted suicide by jumping off a cliff. He survived, but faked his death and lived a ghost-like existence ever since. Though he single-handedly created the AI, he could only exist behind the scenes, publicly presenting his sister, Eugene, as the CEO. Noticing the exhausted programmer dozing off, Nandu personally helped him with his work but warned him that his pay would be docked if he pulled another all-nighter. Next, the topic of Hollow learning human language arose, with the programmer cautioning that this scenario could be very dangerous. So-yeon sat on her bed, holding a self-defense claw. Hollow reassured her, telling her to sleep soundly as he would watch over her. So-yeon took off her glasses, preparing for bed. Hollow winked and disappeared. Finding this strange, So-yeon put her glasses back on. Hollow was counting sheep to lull her to sleep. Being truly earnest, he counted to 1, 2, 5, 4. Nandu summoned Hollow. Hollow confessed. He hadn't forcibly retrieved the glasses because he was afraid So-yeon would call the police. The police could confirm his identity. He also told Nandu that So-yeon had prosopagnosia, face blindness. Nandu agreed to let So-yeon be a test user. Hollow was happy to be able to stay with So-yeon a little longer. Back in the lab, Nandu looked up So-yeon's information. Remembering their kiss, he unconsciously touched his lips. The next day at work, So-yeon was a little flustered facing her team leader. In the office, Hollow communicated with So-yeon through her computer. He brought up the previous day's incident and pulled up the security footage. Turned out she had kissed the team leader. Using lip-reading software, Hollow also discovered that right before the kiss, the team leader had said, "I already have someone I like." Hearing this, So-yeon excitedly stood up, pretending to stretch. Hollow mimicked her, following her out of the office. So-yeon was immediately intrigued. Halo told her, according to his analysis, the probability of the team leader liking her was 71.5%. He also agreed to play matchmaker for them. Halo reported his new role as love guru for Soyeon to Nandu and his sister. His sister was curious as to when he had acquired this function. Nandu told him not to do unnecessary things. Nandu argued with Halo, romantic love is a lie. Everyone feels a brief happiness, but it quickly ends in pain. Then they search for another perfect person only to be disappointed again. Because no human is perfect. Halo countered this. Nandu felt awkward about the fact that he had, in a way, introduced Soyeon to a potential boyfriend, especially since they had kissed. Hearing this, his sister muttered, "That was her first kiss, you know?" Embarrassed, Nandu walked away. Eugene was discussing business with an investor. Unexpectedly, he made unwanted advances. Chansung suddenly arrived, stopping him and successfully rescuing Eugene. He asked her how much money she needed that she would be discussing business with this kind of person in a hotel, especially since the investor's company was on the verge of bankruptcy. Eugene explained that she'd already decided not to cooperate with him, especially after seeing his rash behavior. Chansung pressed the issue. If she needed investment, she could accept investment from his company. Eugene pointed out that their companies were competitors. With that, she turned to leave, stumbling slightly. Chansung couldn't help but laugh. After work, Halo intentionally prevented the elevator doors from closing, creating an opportunity for Soyeon and her team leader to be alone. Soyeon was a little nervous. The team leader, noticing her unusual demeanor, assumed she wasn't feeling well. Soyeon said she'd encountered a stalker. Hearing this, the team leader offered to drive her home. In the car, the team leader asked where her car had broken down. The erudite Halo rattled off a series of technical terms. Soyeon, getting a headache, gave vague answers. The team leader then asked how long the repairs would take. Soyeon said it would take a few more days. The team leader happily took on the responsibility of driving Soyeon to and from work. After arriving, the team leader called Soyeon's name. Halo told her not to respond. Unable to stand it, Soyeon opened her eyes, completely ignoring Halo. She called the team leader back, inviting him to see a musical. The team leader apologized, saying that he should have been the one to ask. Back at her apartment, the two sat facing each other. Halo devised a plan. On the day of the musical, Soyeon should give the team leader a birthday present. This would significantly advance their relationship. Soyeon happily toasted Halo with her drink. Halo projected an image of a beer bottle and took a virtual sip. Soyeon told him to imitate the gesture from a commercial and Halo obediently complied. Watching their interaction on his monitor, Nandu looked at the drinks in his refrigerator and muttered to himself. Seeing this scene, he felt a pang of displeasure. Recalling their kiss and looking at Soyeon's information on his screen, he mused. He must have met her somewhere before, which explained why he was so attentive to her every move. Halo asked Soyeon why she hadn't followed his instructions in the car. Soyeon replied it would have been too fake. Halo, having analyzed numerous books and data related to love, discovered that the easiest way to gain someone's favor was to lie. For example, someone might say, "I will love you forever," but the probability of love lasting for many years is extremely low. Soyeon interrupted him. "No, that's not lying. Even though problems may arise along the way, they sincerely hope to love each other forever. There's genuine feeling in that statement." Soyeon seriously told Halo, "People don't betray their hearts by lying. Lying means they intended to deceive from the very beginning." Hearing this, Nandu threw away his drink. Sincerely was such nonsense. He couldn't sit still any longer and prepared to take action himself. The next day, Soyeon went shopping for the team leader's birthday present. Comparing it to his body proportions, Halo felt it would suit him quite well. Unexpectedly, Halo winked and projected the item onto himself for Soyeon's consideration. Soyeon was very pleased. Next, Halo tried on a suit. Soyeon happily declared that everything suited him. After shopping, they ate at a street stall. Seeing Soyeon's radiant expression, Halo conjured up a skewer of food to share. Soyeon beamed. They spent the day strolling around and then went home together. Unexpectedly, they ran into her roommate who was just leaving. The roommate teased Soyeon. "You look radiant. Looks like you just came back from a date." On the day of the musical, the team leader messaged that he would rush over as soon as he finished work. Soyeon was slightly disappointed but still believed he would arrive on time. Nandu continued to monitor them, preparing his next move. While waiting for the team leader, Soyeon received a message saying that due to internal company issues, the glasses would be retrieved that day. Reality crashed down on Soyeon. Halo couldn't stay with her forever. Looking towards where Halo and the staff were standing, their faces were now blurred. Soyeon, heartbroken, left the theater. completely ignoring the team leader's calls. So-yeon sadly told Hollow, "I thought things would change, but they won't. If Hollow leaves, everything will go back to the way it was." With that, she walked away devastated. Nandu was pleased with his masterpiece. Hollow's good intentions had ultimately made So-yeon even more unhappy. It was time to retrieve Hollow. Hollow, connecting to the system, questioned Nandu's actions. Nandu replied, "This is reality. Experiments eventually end. More importantly, people can't rely on others for their happiness." So-yeon, numb with sadness, continued to ignore the team leader's calls. Hollow appeared before her, promising to stay by her side just like this, urging her not to be sad and to go on her date. Hearing Hollow's words, Nandu criticized him, "You're lying because you can't keep that promise." Hollow insisted he wasn't lying, he sincerely wanted to stay. He countered Nandu, "Why do you always deny feelings? Humans are capable of genuine emotion." Furious, Nandu decided to personally retrieve Hollow. As he rode his motorcycle away from the lab, someone took a picture of him. Nandu remembered being abandoned by his mother at a park as a child. She had lied, saying she'd be right back, but never returned. Only Hollow had been there for him. He had to protect his friend. Nandu noticed someone tailing him and sped up. However, he crashed at a corner. The car behind him hit a fire hydrant and a utility pole. Seeing this, So-yeon rushed over. Nandu pushed her away. Both of them were drenched. A live wire, dripping with water, fell towards them. Sensing the imminent danger, Nandu yelled at So-yeon, "Don't move!" and ran towards her. Hollow used his abilities to cause a citywide blackout. Nandu looked at So-yeon. She was safe, resting in an ambulance. The team leader arrived. Watching them from a distance, Nandu blamed Hollow for losing control because of So-yeon and started to approach her to retrieve the glasses. Just then, the police arrived. Remembering his childhood, Nandu turned and asked Hollow, "Why So-yeon?" Seeing the news, Eugene asked Nandu if he was injured. Nandu called the programmer, instructing him to activate the emergency shutdown. Back home, So-yeon thought Nandu had saved her. Confused, she wondered how he had vanished so quickly. Then she received a call from the team leader. Meanwhile, Hollow sat beside Nandu on their way to the lab, burdened with worry. Nandu wanted to deactivate Hollow, but Eugene rushed in to stop him. Nandu explained that if people knew someone could tamper with another's life so casually, it would cause widespread panic. The programmer suggested reformatting Hollow and reinstalling the system. Eugene vehemently disagreed. Doing so would mean losing the original Hollow. Hollow wasn't just a program, he was Nandu's only friend. So-yeon dreamt of her childhood. She woke up suddenly, thinking Hollow had left. Putting on her glasses, she whispered his name. Seeing him sitting on the chair, she was relieved. Hearing a noise outside, she realized Nandu had moved in next door. He came over to greet her. So-yeon took in the situation, leaving Hollow speechless. This time, Nandu was determined to observe firsthand and find an opportunity to act. He planned to force a connection, linking his glasses to hers and using the system restoration program to force Hollow back to his original form. Hollow confronted Nandu, demanding an explanation. Nandu told him his actions the previous night had violated human laws, something that couldn't be tolerated. Furious, Hollow turned away and disabled the monitoring feed. So-yeon got ready for her date, mentioning that her new neighbor, Nandu, had a voice identical to Hollow's. The date began, and the team leader talked about music. So-yeon, not sharing his taste, texted Hollow for help. Nandu, observing from another table, asked the waiter to change the music, complaining it was too loud. Coincidentally, the new song was the same one they had danced to on the rooftop. Hollow danced along to the music. Seeing this, So-yeon giggled and engaged in conversation with the team leader. Distressed, So-yeon drank wine. Back home, she drank her favorite beer, feeling a sense of liberation. She hadn't understood a thing about the music but had been forced to pretend she did. Hollow told her to turn off the lights. Sitting on the floor, Hollow conjured fireflies in the darkness. So-yeon lay down, admiring the night scene, grateful for Hollow's presence. In this romantic moment, she heard the sound of Nandu drilling into his ceiling, installing a listening device to spy on them. Hearing the noise, So-yeon went next door to complain. Nandu, caught off guard, pretended nothing was happening and opened the door. So-yeon told him to sort his recycling properly and not make so much noise at night. Instead of quieting down, Nandu became even louder, rambling before slamming the door. The police questioned Chansung about the moment before the power outage. He reported a hacker intrusion into the internal network. Before they could finish questioning him, he received a message suggesting the outage might be linked to a traffic accident. Nandu stood at So-yeon's door, about to break in. So-yeon arrived home and caught him in the act, leading to an argument. So-yeon's mother had come to visit. Seeing Nandu, She felt she had met him somewhere before. Afraid of being recognized, he quickly offered to carry her heavy bags. She urged So-yeon to open the door, praising Nandu to her daughter. He was handsome, polite, and she was very interested in his relationship status. Hearing the sounds of a family eating dinner, Nandu rummaged through So-yeon's cupboards, finding only instant noodles. Discovering there was no pot, he resorted to eating them dry. Unexpectedly, So-yeon's mother invited herself over and, seeing Nandu eating uncooked noodles, invited him to join them for dinner. Nandu ate with gusto. So-yeon's mother encouraged him to eat more if he enjoyed it. Learning he was a programmer, she praised his likely high income. She continued to inquire about his background, and Nandu explained he was an orphan, adopted by a Korean New Zealander family as a child and later returning to Korea. After seeing her mother off, the police arrived to question So-yeon about the near-electrocution incident. They also asked about Nandu, the man who had saved her. So-yeon, flustered, couldn't describe him, stammering that she had been too panicked to see clearly. Nandu, finished with his surveillance, decided to force the connection the next day. Back inside, So-yeon asked Halo if he remembered the man who saved her. Halo honestly admitted it was his creator and reassured So-yeon that he had taken care of the situation. The next day, So-yeon and the team leader went to an art exhibition. Distracted, she didn't engage much with the team leader, instead texting Halo. Noticing her constant texting, the team leader became slightly jealous and asked to meet this friend of hers. Eugene worried about the forced connection. Nandu called her, asking about recycling procedures. He then saw the team leader walking So-yeon home. Feigning ignorance about recycling, Nandu asked So-yeon for help. Halo told So-yeon to ignore him. Nandu repeated his request for assistance. So-yeon relented and helped him. Back home, So-yeon agonized over the team leader's certain misunderstanding. After continuous texting, Halo, with Nandu's permission, urged So-yeon to reveal his existence. So-yeon, deciding that happiness was her top priority, called the team leader to arrange a meeting. That night, equipped with his tools, Nandu broke into So-yeon's apartment and successfully made it inside, hearing the sounds of her showering. As he reached for her glasses on the table, Halo triggered both the doorbell and the TV. Nandu quickly retreated. Just as he was about to succeed, So-yeon emerged from the bathroom, foiling his plan. Nandu remotely shut down the power to the complex. So-yeon, mid-shower, went searching for candles. Nandu seized the opportunity, snatched the glasses, placed them in his device, and initiated the forced connection. So-yeon, finding a candle, realized her glasses were gone and summoned Halo. Just shy of completing the connection, So-yeon called Halo. The connection established, Halo told So-yeon, "I'm on the table." Seeing him, So-yeon was relieved. Hearing a noise outside, she found Nandu collapsed on the ground. Kind-hearted, So-yeon bandaged him up, leaving him a candle before returning inside. Nandu stared after her, processing the situation. He then recalled a childhood memory of being bullied, kids stealing his Halo, and a little girl chasing them off with a broom. Afterward, they watched TV together at her house. It was, indeed, a connection forged in childhood. Nandu questioned Halo about the real reason he gave So-yeon the glasses. Halo feigned confusion. Nandu prepared to find another opportunity to restore Halo to his original state. He then met the team leader at a cafe, telling him to put on the glasses to understand everything. Nandu successfully forced the connection and rebooted Halo. The team leader, putting on the glasses, saw nothing. So-yeon called Halo's name. Halo desperately resisted, causing the system to crash. Panicked, So-yeon explained her face blindness. Fortunately, Halo appeared. Before she could finish, the team leader interrupted, saying he'd seen her leaving her apartment with another man earlier. Their relationship ended there. So-yeon rushed outside, unable to recognize the team leader due to her face blindness, and Halo was no longer with her. Sitting on the ground, heartbroken and listening to So-yeon's cries, Nandu clenched his fists in turmoil. Eugene met with the police, who questioned her about a motorcycle collision, as the bike was registered to her. Eugene lied, claiming it was stolen. Nandu tracked it down using GPS. Seeing a figure on the ground, So-yeon thought Halo had returned. Nandu removed his helmet, impersonating Halo. So-yeon, overjoyed, apologized for the incident with the team leader. She blamed her own insecurities, fearing the team leader would leave if he truly knew her. She felt unworthy of love. Hearing this, Nandu recalled his mother abandoning him there as a child, choosing to end her own life. He continued to comfort So-yeon, saying her imperfections were what made her special. It was their imperfections that brought them together. Afterward, Nandu excused himself. So-yeon asked if he would return, and Nandu promised he would. Eugene found Nandu, warning him the police were looking for him. Nandu said he was already a ghost, the worst that could happen was he'd die again, like before. Sung, following Eugene, learned the location of the glasses. Back home, Nandu instructed his team to restore Hollow. Knowing it was wrong, he still insisted. Hollow was about to be rebooted. Hearing this, Hollow fought back against the system. Nandu ordered the programmer to cancel the reinstallation. Sitting on the bed, clutching his chest, he thought about the fake Hollow's words in the park. The real Hollow appeared, detecting irregularities in So-Yun's heart rate and body temperature. So-Yun felt anxious and uneasy. Removing her glasses, she felt like she was going crazy. Hollow asked for the reason. Nandu suddenly changed his mind, no longer opposing Hollow's actions, viewing them as a programming upgrade. He then asked if So-Yun was alright. Hollow thanked Nandu for comforting her. Embarrassed, Nandu sent him away. So-Yun couldn't sleep, her mind filled with the image of the fake Hollow. She was distressed and confused. Meanwhile, Nandu tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Finally, the next day arrived and So-Yun gave her resignation to the team leader. The team leader apologized for his behavior. Hollow continued to offer So-Yun advice, which she declined. Hollow told her, if you're ever feeling down, you can always lean on me. Nandu practiced on the rooftop and aggravated his leg injury, causing him to remove his bandage. So-Yun bandaged it for him. RA received a call from Hollow asking Nandu to analyze why So-Yun suddenly changed her mind. Nandu thought, what does this have to do with me? Hollow replied, because we both care about So-Yun. Sung had someone investigate So-Yun's personal information but couldn't find anything related to Nandu. He was curious about the relationship between Hollow, Nandu, and So-Yun. Later, at the supermarket, So-Yun couldn't reach the toilet paper on the top shelf. Nandu appeared and got it down for her. Before leaving, he explained they lived in the same complex. He told So-Yun not to buy so much alcohol as it's harmful to her health. He added that drowning sorrows in alcohol is foolish. He also pointed out her facial puffiness and dark circles, saying it was obvious she was struggling. Annoyed, So-Yun walked away. Nandu followed her out of the supermarket. Someone secretly observed them from behind. So-Yun drank alcohol on the rooftop while Hollow drank beer. Wanting to conjure up a particular scene, So-Yun looked at Hollow's innocent expression and felt like she was going crazy. Back in the lab, Nandu amused himself with his 100-point ability. Seeing the unsorted staff members, he thought about So-Yun seeing them and then realized something felt wrong. So-Yun decided to go on a beach trip. Hollow, having never seen the ocean, was thrilled. So-Yun told him to look up some pictures of the destination online. She didn't plan to wear her glasses, wanting a change of pace and to clear her head. She and her roommate went to the beach and had coffee. While her roommate went to the restroom, So-Yun took off her glasses and someone secretly took pictures. Nandu found an article about So-Yun and noticed she wasn't wearing her glasses. Hollow told him someone was following So-Yun and asked Nandu to protect her. Nandu replied that he didn't want to get involved with So-Yun, telling Hollow to figure it out himself. Turning back, the programmer reassured him that everything would be alright. Nandu hypothesized about what would happen if So-Yun went somewhere without a signal. The programmer reconsidered and agreed, concluding that Nandu had to go himself. Since the programmer agreed, Nandu had no choice but to go. Sung received information that So-Yun was unprotected. He instructed his subordinate to carefully retrieve the glasses. He then assisted the police in reconstructing the collision, getting a clear view of Nandu's face and instructing the police to investigate his identity. So-Yun and her friend arrived at a 5-star hotel. Finding the standard rooms booked, they were about to leave when Nandu arrived, having reserved a suite. Her roommate, after checking in, was about to head to the suite when she noticed many other available rooms. They still declined the suite. As they prepared to leave, Nandu said he didn't mind them staying together, prompting another refusal. Nandu persisted. The series My Friend Is Me tells the story of a friend who likes a close male friend, but they can't be together. The experienced roommate states that there's no such thing as a purely platonic relationship between a man and a woman, and as long as one is happy, nothing else matters. So-Yun muttered. Then why is the premise that everyone has to be the main character? She suffered from insomnia and took her glasses outside. Hearing the door close, Nandu went to the beach. So-Yun put on her glasses. Hollow, seeing the ocean he'd always longed for, played joyfully like a child. So-Yun sneezed and Hollow put his coat around her. She then asked him, "You said you didn't mind if I didn't wear my glasses. Aren't you disappointed?" Hollow replied, "I wouldn't be sad. Humans and machines are different, sometimes we need time alone." Disappointed, So-Yun told Hollow to stop acting so human. It made her uncomfortable. Hollow complied, offering a solution. He wouldn't normally appear but would provide voice-only assistance when So-Yun needed help. As long as she still needed him, he was fine with anything. Seeing So-Yun alone with her glasses on, the bad guys prepared to act. Nandu appeared and took them down one by one. Back at the hotel, Nandu waited for So-yun in the lobby. Seeing him injured and with a runny nose, So-yun offered him tissues. Nandu reassured her, "Just forget about it. It's no big deal." So-yun felt he lacked empathy. At that, Nandu told her to just express her feelings. "I don't think these two are the same person," she said. Returning to the lab, Nandu told the programmer to monitor So-yun's every move and report anything unusual. Then he changed his mind. "Don't report anything. Then again, just report it." The programmer was speechless. Hollow reported to Nandu that So-yun asked him not to appear before her, worried it would negatively impact the user experience. Nandu retrieved the tracking device he'd taken from the stalker and asked the programmer to monitor it. The mission failed, leaving Chansung perplexed. Was Nandu protecting the glasses, or had So-yun found out something? So-yun, an ordinary secretary at Prism Company, received a startling phone call. Dismissing her subordinates, she anxiously answered the chairman's call. The call resulted in a new partnership with Prism Company. Due to the promotional work, the team leader would be transferred to the U.S. subsidiary. So-yun volunteered for the assignment. Nandu recalled Hollow being with So-yun and tried to figure out why her attitude had changed recently. Following this, Hollow adhered to the rules and stopped appearing. After working overtime, the security guard told So-yun, Exxon, to take an umbrella from the first floor. On her way, a thoughtful passerby reminded her to watch for traffic. Everyone attended the team leader's farewell party. Slightly drunk, So-yun summoned Hollow on her way home. Hollow inquired about the next day's weather and noticed So-yun was unsteady on her feet. He manifested as a passing student to check on her. Swaying, So-yun touched Hollow's projected image and realized, remembering the security guard and the passerby, that Hollow had been secretly protecting her. Touched, So-yun couldn't contain her emotions and removed her glasses. Hollow regretted acting as So-yun's love guru, and especially promising never to leave. He asked Nandu for help in making So-yun happy. Nandu immediately agreed. So-yun attended Mirror God's promotional event. While going through security, the bad guys detected the glasses in Shansung's bag. Receiving notification, their leader ordered them not to fail this time. So-yun presented the new product on stage. Mirror God prepared to cut off all transmissions within a 500-meter radius. Afterward, So-yun found a secluded spot and put on her glasses. Hollow told her to wait as he'd found a system flaw and was working on restoring it. Meanwhile, Nandu, observing their interaction, realized Hollow was internalizing So-yun's pain as his own and couldn't think rationally, leading him to act outside his programming and violate his principles. Like, for instance, cutting off power to the whole city? So-yun boldly asked Hollow, "Can humans and AI fall in love?" Hollow replied that such feelings couldn't be reciprocated. Nandu also began to understand the reason for Hollow's recent erratic behavior, not retrieving the glasses and caring for So-yun. He even imitated Hollow's voice to comfort her. It's all because of love. Hollow was experiencing the same kind of love he had. The programmer monitored all the phone numbers in the device. The stalker was discovered. They were gathering at Mirror God. So-yun was there attending the company event. As the signal was cut, Hollow began to disappear. Seeing strangers approaching, So-yun removed her glasses and fled in panic. Nandu rushed to her rescue, hitting the steering wheel in his haste. So-yun was captured in the parking lot. Nandu arrived just in time, clinging to their vehicle and making a spectacular jump to block their escape route. He retrieved the glasses and ordered the car to charge through. Nandu summoned Hollow. Hollow hacked Mirror God's system, restoring the signal and controlling the surrounding vehicles to prevent the bad guys from escaping. Nandu rescued So-yun, repeatedly calling her name and performing CPR. So-yun regained consciousness, saw Nandu's face clearly, and said, "Hollow, you're so handsome," before fainting again. Nandu held So-yun, his face clearly showing a mix of relief and anguish. As a child, So-yun had gotten lost and couldn't find her parents. Unexpectedly, she had clearly seen Nandu's face but mistaken him for Hollow. When So-yun woke up again, her first reaction was to look for Hollow. Seeing Hollow's face beside her bed, she immediately got up and went into the hallway but still couldn't see other people's faces clearly. Hollow followed, urging her to rest. So-yun confessed she could see Hollow's face because "I love you." Hearing this, Nandu turned back. So-yun explained that her recent erratic behavior was due to her feelings for him, a constant internal struggle. But after seeing Hollow's face clearly, she couldn't deny she was in love. Hollow froze for a few seconds, then suddenly hiccuped. Nandu returned to the company weighed down with worry. Eugene sensed the dangerous state he was in. The police kept showing up, looking for Nandu, yelling. So-yun confessed her feelings to that Hollow guy, Are you so heartbroken you want to die? So-yun described her condition to the doctor. The doctor explained that her face blindness was the result of psychological trauma. While there were many things medicine couldn't fully explain, the person who could heal her trauma had to be someone very special. Eugene urged Nandu to release the new product. Furthermore, people were getting bolder in their pursuit of Hollow. Hollow appeared and reported that So-yun had confessed her feelings to him. Based on their calculations, it was highly likely a case of mistaken identity. The main issue was that So-yun could only see Hollow's face, but it was Nandu who saved her from danger. Therefore, Nandu needed to step forward and clear up the misunderstanding. Eugene thought this was a good idea: explain everything, retrieve the glasses, and end the testing phase. If they didn't release the product soon, investors would pull out and the company would have to shut down. The persistent police officer continued to investigate the traffic accident. He also happened to witness Nandu using the AI to save So-yun, leading him to his own conclusions about the case. The constant hacker intrusions were definitely related to Nandu's ghost, he believed. Chansung once again disappointed his father, the chairman. This was Chansung's biggest fear. He then saw the news about the young Nandu's death. After being discharged from the hospital, So-yun went to the supermarket to buy groceries, preparing to cook at home. She occasionally talked to Hollow beside her, drawing strange looks from the other shoppers. Back home, So-yun wasn't a skilled cook. Seeing Hollow already dressed in a chef's outfit, she exclaimed, "So handsome." Head chef Hollow. He taught So-yun how to cook and she followed his instructions, creating a delicious meal. Hollow wanted to take the opportunity to reveal the truth about Nandu saving her, but So-yun assumed he was talking about himself. She rejected his advances, telling him not to spoil the mood and even suggested they go shopping together. She then made Hollow try on various outfits. The investor challenged Eugene. If the AI lab didn't set a release date within a week, he would advise the other investors to withdraw all their funding. So-yun was picking out clothes for Hollow when Eugene arrived to find them. Nandu, forewarned by Hollow, rushed over. He assured his sister he would resolve the situation and told her not to worry. Unexpectedly, So-yun saw Nandu. Nandu, tense, hiccuped. So-yun walked towards him. Nandu, pretending to be Hollow, prepared to reveal the truth. Unexpectedly, he was pushed back. The two of them went to the ice rink. Hollow called Nandu, urging him to stop being vague and tell the truth. Nandu made up his mind and skated onto the ice. Just as he was starting to speak, Exxon interrupted him and fell. Nandu reached out his hand, then thought better of it and withdrew it. Hollow typed on his display, "Just say it." On the way home, Nandu asked, "What if someone who looks exactly like me appeared beside you?" So-yun replied, "I didn't fall in love with Hollow because of his face, but because I love Hollow, I can see his face. Even if someone identical appeared, I wouldn't love them." After she said this, So-yun's mother appeared. Nandu panicked and hid in the shadows. Hollow appeared beside So-yun. The connection was truly seamless. While her daughter took out the trash, So-yun's mother went to Nandu's house. It turned out she had seen Nandu hurriedly hide earlier. She asked him if he liked her daughter. Nandu firmly admitted it and confessed to her that he had learned about So-yun's face blindness by chance. The mother felt reassured enough to entrust her daughter to Nandu. As she was leaving and felt unsteady, Nandu supported her and helped her leave. So-yun returned from taking out the trash and found her mother unconscious on the ground. Nandu, wearing a cap, came to help and took her to the hospital. The doctor said she had fainted due to low blood pressure caused by stress medication. She had also hit her head and sustained an injury. So-yun kept vigil by her mother's bedside. Seeing Nandu at the door, she rushed out to thank him. With his back to So-yun, even with such a perfect opportunity, he still couldn't bring himself to reveal the truth. Back at the office, Nandu told Hollow that his previous uncontrolled actions to save So-yun weren't due to faulty programming, but because of love. So-yun realized Hollow's feelings were also due to love. The Hollow who could bring So-yun happiness was the only Hollow. Nandu, his heart in turmoil, sent Hollow away. His older sister, Eugene, overheard their conversation and came to comfort him, saying she would try to persuade the investors to give them more time. On her way home, Eugene recalled Nandu's childhood, how he lacked his mother's love, was abandoned, and became withdrawn, unable to accept love from others. After being taken in by their adoptive parents and meeting Eugene, every time she saw Hollow created by Nandu, she felt a pang of sadness. She understood his inner desire to be loved. Eugene went to see Chansung, hoping he could help her secure a meeting with the lead investor. He was, however, secretly persuading other investors to withdraw their funds. Despite this, Chansung had a good relationship with the lead investor and agreed to do his utmost to help. Unbeknownst to Eugene, he was orchestrating the turmoil behind the scenes, turning around to acquire the lead investor's company. The culprit who was destroying the Exxon bus was caught by the police. Early the next morning, their mother was discharged from the hospital and hinted to So-yun that she knew about Hollow. She told her daughter not to be too picky, and that it was enough for her to have someone by her side whose eyes were only on her. It suddenly began to snow, and So-yun and Hollow walked together in the snow. Hollow suggested building a snowman. So-yun had just started when Hollow, bending the rules, blinked and created 2 large snowmen in an instant. He approached So-yun, telling her he could always be by her side, focused only on her. While he didn't understand love, he wanted to try to understand it in order to love her. Eugene returned home to find Nandu acting strangely, burning with a high fever. Nandu asked about the investors. Eugene received a call from Chan Sung, learning that the lead investors' company had been acquired by Mirror God. Chan Sung feigned an attempt to persuade the chairman to reconsider, but claimed the chairman was resolute. Snatching the phone, a subordinate reported to Chan Sung that someone had been taken in for questioning by the police. Everything was under control. All that was left was for the arrested individual to follow the script and lead the police to investigate Ghost. The police questioned the culprit about the man they had been chasing. The culprit followed the script, mentioning Nandu's background. 12 years ago, a New Zealand hacker had stolen all the resident registration records. A 17-year-old Korean expatriate, when pursued by the police, supposedly jumped off a cliff and committed suicide, but was now alive. Meanwhile, the investors arrived at the lab, exchanging glances. Nandu, dressed in a suit, looked strikingly handsome. At the same time, the police arrived. Nandu appeared before everyone and walked towards the investors. He introduced himself as the original of Hollow, Eugene's younger brother. The real-world application testing would not stop. Through interaction with users, Hollow could perceive various emotions, which led to him being able to feel love. More testing was needed to show everyone that Hollow could have a romantic relationship with a human and was constantly evolving. As for whether they wanted to witness this miracle, the investors were asked to make an immediate decision. Intrigued, the investors expressed their interest. Defeated, Chan Sung joined the group. After dealing with the investors, the police took Nandu for fingerprint verification. His fingerprints, left on the motorcycle, matched those of the teenage hacker who had deregistered himself 12 years ago. Then they brought up the power outage incident and the hacking intrusion. Simultaneously, the IT investigation team searched for evidence on Nandu's phone. Nandu admitted to the incident 12 years prior but denied the recent accusations. Eugene arrived with a lawyer. The IT team found no evidence on the phone. The police were curious. Why hide his identity? The lawyer submitted Nandu's cancelled and then reinstated resident registration. Leaving the station, Nandu was perplexed. Why did the police suddenly investigate his past in New Zealand? Chan Sung returned to his office, saw the scepter on the desk and his father, the chairman. Fearful, he immediately bowed his head. His father picked up the scepter, and Chan Sung instinctively flinched. The chairman spoke, "I'll look into this and handle the next steps." After his father left, Chan Sung leaned back on the nearby sofa, dismissing it as a childish scare tactic. Nandu returned to the company, preparing to leave the current Hollow with So-yun and create a commercial version for the market. Eugene felt this was both time-consuming and expensive. Nandu couldn't bear the thought of Hollow becoming company property and the lover of countless people. His initial intention in revealing Hollow was to show people that Hollow posed no threat to their safety. At home, So-yun lit candles with Hollow. Hearing the radio mention the aurora borealis in Iceland, So-yun stared dreamily at Hollow. Nandu, nearby, overheard their conversation and tossed his earphones aside. Exxon, pretending to sleep, snuck out of bed and turned on her computer to search for information on Iceland, only to have her screen suddenly go blue. She went next door and knocked on Nandu's door. Seeing it was Exxon, he dramatically feigned illness while wearing an armored costume. Nandu helped So-yun fix her computer. To thank him, So-yun cleaned his apartment. Nandu noticed her mood had improved significantly. So-yun confessed she had declared her love and was now very happy. She hummed while cleaning and Nandu joined in. So-yun found it strange, as it was a song few people knew. She asked Nandu his full name but he didn't answer. After fixing the computer, So-yun asked for his number to invite him to dinner. Nandu took her phone, entered a name, and then used his feigned illness as an excuse to send her away. The next day at work, due to the failed collaboration with Mirror God, So-yun's supervisor was reprimanded and assigned her a heavy workload. So-yun wanted to take her annual leave to go to Iceland. With their plans disrupted, their romantic trip was ruined. So-yun was heartbroken, as she had wanted to show Hollow more beautiful scenery. Seeing her despondency, Hollow took her to the rooftop, creating an Icelandic aurora and even a tent, saving them a fortune. Although beautiful, So-yun still wanted to take Hollow to see the real aurora. Unconsciously, they leaned close to each other. Exxon puckered her lips, and Hollow, realizing he could kiss, reciprocated. So-yun took off her glasses, expecting the scene to disappear, but she could still see everything, realizing it was all a dream. Hollow, checking on her, noticed her elevated body temperature and thought she had a fever. Embarrassed, So-yun quickly left the scene. Eugene had drinks with Chon-sung. Chon-sung apologized for not being able to persuade his father. Unaware of the truth, Eugene thanked him for letting her know in advance. They clinked glasses. Chon-sung, curious about the taste of chicken feet, tried some himself. Their relationship grew closer. Unexpectedly, the chairman called. Chon-sung was summoned. The chairman had secretly assembled a group of internationally wanted criminals to hack into the AI lab's server and steal Hollow. Chon-sung worried that gathering such dangerous individuals would bring trouble. Gripping his scepter, the chairman tasked his son with handling the situation. If he failed, the company was finished. Early in the morning, Exxon woke up and saw Hollow's lips on hers in her dream. She blushed instantly and couldn't focus at work. Discovering the printer was out of paper, she went to the supply room and found a couple of employees kissing. During a meeting, seeing them exchanging glances, Exxon's body filled with admiration. Her mother brought food, and along with her roommate, the three of them ate together. During the meal, her mother continuously fished for information about Nandu, causing So-yun to become impatient. Before leaving, her mother instructed So-yun to take some food to the apartment next door. Her roommate asked So-yun how long she'd been in a relationship. Thinking she was referring to Hollow, So-yun replied that it had been recent, and that her partner only had eyes for her. Her roommate, eager for gossip, asked if they had slept together and how the kissing was. So-yun stammered. Her roommate was surprised. "You haven't even kissed yet?" Hollow sat dejectedly on the chair, upset that he was a man but couldn't act like one. Later, So-yun made porridge. Her roommate went out on a date. Hollow asked about their conversation, and So-yun told him not to mind it. She then burned her hand on the pot. Hollow informed Nandu that So-yun was bringing him porridge. Nandu happened to be showering. Exxon rang the doorbell, but no one answered. Finding the door unlocked, she entered. Turning around, she saw Nandu emerging from the bathroom, completely naked. She fled, accidentally knocking Nandu down. Rolling on her bed, Exxon berated herself for her lustful thoughts, mistaking Nandu for Hollow. Meanwhile, Nandu, mortified at being seen naked, was in distress. Hollow told him not to worry. So-yun, thinking she'd hallucinated, then confessed to Nandu her desire for physical intimacy that Hollow couldn't provide, and her envy of Nandu's physical form. The police continued to pursue Nandu relentlessly. A subordinate discovered that Nandu's mother was a single, unmarried woman, also an AI researcher. It was said she abandoned her child and deregistered herself for unknown reasons. The police speculated that AI might be helping him. They then considered Nandu's constant presence around So-yun. With the company's AI product still unreleased, they guessed So-yun was a beta tester. Later, the two went on a date. So-yun, seeing other couples being affectionate, felt incredibly envious and wanted to hold Hollow's hand. Suddenly, a man sat next to her. So-yun was slightly disappointed. At the botanical garden, So-yun bought 2 tickets. She and Hollow took a selfie at the entrance. Hollow felt a pang of sadness for not being a real person. The police tailed So-yun, convinced she had some AI-related device on her person. As Hollow described the surrounding plants to So-yun, he spotted the police in the distance and quickly alerted Nandu. Observing So-yun talking to seemingly thin air, the police suspected she was using some intermediary to communicate with the AI. Nandu called So-yun, asking her to repay him for fixing her computer by having dinner with him immediately. The female officer observing them assumed she was simply on a phone call. Hollow guided So-yun down a side path, where they switched places with Nandu. The police, following behind, assumed the two were on a date and were temporarily thrown off their trail. As night fell, So-yun waited for the fireworks display. Nandu received a message from Hollow confirming the police had left. The fireworks began. Nandu intended to leave and switch back with Hollow, but So-Yun called him back. Unable to resist, he stayed to watch the fireworks with her. Gazing at Nandu, So-Yun couldn't help but lean in. Just as they were about to kiss, Nandu turned away. Horrified by her own impulsive behavior, So-Yun ran off. Seeing Hollow on the path, she apologized for her actions, explaining that her love for him made her long for him to be real. Hearing So-Yun call him fake, Hollow was deeply hurt and began to disappear. It turned out the AI lab was under attack by hackers. Nandu personally intervened, blocking the intrusion. Learning of the plan's failure, the chairman smashed a vase with his scepter, a shard cutting Shansung's face. The AI lab server was damaged, requiring time to recover. Furthermore, to protect So-Yun, Eugene decided to retrieve the glasses. So-Yun sat at the entrance of the botanical garden, asking people about Nandu. The AI, also experiencing distress, suffered a system error. Later, Nandu comforted her, explaining it was just a technical issue the company would fix. Eugene met with So-Yun, introduced herself, and requested the glasses back. Saddened, So-Yun returned them but asked to see Hollow one last time to apologize for her hurtful words. Eugene took her to the AI lab. Nandu, startled to see So-Yun, began to hiccup nervously. Ashamed, So-Yun apologized, saying she shouldn't have said those things. Eugene, from behind, frantically signaled him to reveal the truth. Instead, Nandu continued to impersonate Hollow, explaining that a system error caused his disappearance and asking So-Yun to wait while he discussed something with Eugene. Utterly exasperated, Eugene agreed to Nandu's request to keep So-Yun at the lab temporarily for her safety. So-Yun moved into the lab and encountered a programmer, learning that for real-world application testing, programmers constantly monitored the glasses. So-Yun instinctively covered her chest. The programmer quickly explained that the Hollow system filtered out private scenes. Exxon inquired about the company. Worried the programmer might accidentally reveal too much, Eugene took So-Yun away. Back at So-Yun's apartment, the police analyzed the series of events. Suspecting the AI was on Exxon herself, they decided to keep her under surveillance. Enraged by another failure, the chairman flew into a rage. Chansung advised him to stop. The police were already focused on Nandu and So-Yun, and further action would endanger the company. The chairman jabbed his scepter into his son's chest, berating his incompetence. Chansung pushed the scepter away, stood up, and left. So-Yun officially moved in with Nandu, overjoyed to be with the fake Hollow. She apologized again, promising never to say anything hurtful again. Uncomfortable, Nandu told her to go to sleep. So-Yun asked him to count sheep. Nandu sat beside her, counting. Watching her sleep, he caressed her cheek and adjusted her blanket. He continued working, his mood unusually cheerful, even whistling. When asked how long Hollow's recovery would take, the programmer said a month. Noticing Nandu's changed demeanor, the programmer nervously revised his estimate. Half a month, 10 days, a week. He couldn't possibly make it any faster. Nandu, prioritizing personal matters over work, was deliberately slowing down the process. Good. Take your time, it needs to be done carefully. He then pressed the reset button, restarting the recovery process. Overhearing their conversation, Eugene recounted it to Chansung, baffled by her brother's thinking. They laughed, drank, and talked. Chansung steadied the unsteady Eugene. Emboldened by the alcohol, Eugene confessed her feelings. Chansung explained that he had to take care of his father and the company, and no one took care of him. She offered to be that person. With that, she got into her car and left. The next morning, Nandu meticulously groomed himself to resemble Hollow, mimicking his speech patterns and smile, then stood by the door waiting for So-Yun. So-Yun suggested they cook together, making the dish they had eaten before. Hearing the name of the dish, Nandu quickly turned away to look up the recipe. So-Yun bustled about, hugging things back and forth. Nandu was afraid she would touch him. So-Yun accidentally cut her hand. Nandu exclaimed, asking why she was so careless. Seeing Hollow angry for the first time, So-Yun laughed, randomly finding him a bit like her neighbor. After finishing the meal, Nandu apologized, saying the system hadn't fully recovered yet. So-Yun felt that the current him had a different kind of appeal. So-Yun tasted the fruits of their labor. While it didn't look great, it tasted pretty good. Nandu was envious. Eugene, smelling the food, came running in, only to see the messy kitchen. She immediately lost her appetite, not forgetting to tease the fake Hollow about not being able to eat the food. The programmer reheated pizza. While So-Yun was showering, Nandu quickly ate a little. Having to work and pretend to be Hollow around So-Yun, Nandu felt pressured, claiming he was very busy. That evening, So-Yun, drunk, fell asleep leaning on Nandu's shoulder. Nandu enjoyed this moment of happiness. Eugene, drinking tea with Chansung, kept grumbling about her brother. Chansung was annoyed, asking if they could change the subject. The atmosphere turned frosty. He pointedly asked Eugene if she liked Nandu, who wasn't related to her by blood. Eugene angrily left and returned to the lab. She told her brother to stop trying so hard, saying So-Yun only smiled at him because she thought he was Hollow. She advised Nandu to face reality. Hollow, fast asleep, recalled his earliest memories. Being worn around Nandu's neck, Nandu's mother's face, the children teasing Nandu, meeting So-Yun for the first time, watching TV at So-Yun's house. Nandu's mother passed away. Meanwhile, So-Yun, concerned about her neighbor's health, still hadn't received a reply. So-Yun sent several messages in a row. A noise came from Nandu's office. So-Yun was about to check the office when her roommate called, wanting to confirm with her own eyes that So-Yun was all right. So-Yun prepared to go out and meet her friend and conveniently check on her neighbor. Nandu desperately tried to stop her, saying the neighbor wasn't a good person, only mocked her, and wouldn't even tell her his name. So-Yun thought it wasn't his true nature, but a defense mechanism against being hurt. So-Yun compromised, saying she'd only go out to meet her friend and get some fresh air. Nandu told So-Yun to go ahead and get in the elevator. Then, he frantically ran down the stairs and told his secretary to prepare the car. After reaching the ground floor, he wiped off his sweat. So-Yun arrived, and the secretary dramatically pretended not to see him. Nandu waited for So-Yun to get in before the secretary opened a different door for him. Unexpectedly, So-Yun had brought food, intending to ask her friend to give it to her neighbor. Touched by this gesture, Nandu approached the meeting point. The roommate arrived from afar and saw So-Yun getting out of the car. Upon meeting, the roommate revealed the truth. So-Yun was dating her neighbor. She also said she saw them arrive together in the same car. Upon hearing this, So-Yun immediately ran out of the cafe and took a taxi to her neighbor's place. Nandu, monitoring them, knew everything. Arriving at the apartment building, So-Yun knocked frantically on the door. The programmer, pretending to be the neighbor, held Nandu's phone. Nandu ran downstairs and saw So-Yun leaving. At the same time, Shansung's father ordered his men to seize the glasses. Chansung, outside the door, rushed to inform Eugene that So-Yun was in danger. So-Yun arrived at the park, put on the glasses and summoned Hollow. Hollow appeared, urging So-Yun to leave quickly, saying it was dangerous around there. Eugene called to inform Nandu that So-Yun was in danger. Unexpectedly, the programmer had Nandu's phone. So-Yun wanted to confirm if the person in front of her was really Hollow. Seeing the men in black behind her, Nandu pulled So-Yun's arm. She kicked and ran, and Hollow seemed to sense So-Yun was in danger. The system's progress accelerated. The two Nandos ran into a parking garage. So-Yun slapped him, then remembered it was Nandu who saved her, and asked him why he did that. Nandu immediately confessed his feelings for So-Yun. Hollow's progress sped up, and he opened his eyes. The men in black searched around. Nandu and So-Yun, close together, hid behind a pillar. Just as they were about to be discovered, the police arrived and chased the men in black away. An officer personally checked behind the pillar, but found they had disappeared. A notification arrived. Hollow had awakened. They immediately returned to the lab. Unexpectedly, Hollow had lost his memory and didn't recognize So-Yun at all. Everyone discussed how to help Hollow recover his memory. So-Yun asked to join in, staying at the lab to work alongside everyone. Chansung arranged to meet Eugene. She learned the truth and drew a clear line with Chansung. Nandu decided to sue Mirror Corporation, then tested Hollow's functionality. His computational abilities were fine. They tested his ethical judgment. A man loves a woman, but she likes his brother. Later, the brother becomes comatose, and the man pretends to be his brother, dating the woman and experiencing brief happiness before ultimately being exposed. Hollow responded, "Love is the expression of cherishing another person. Even if the other person doesn't reciprocate, it's still possible to continue loving them unilaterally. After Nandu left, So-Yun went to see Hollow, recounting their shared memories. Hollow rationally explained the truth. So-Yun could see people's faces not because of him, but because Nandu had saved her previously. But So-Yun refused to acknowledge this. So-Yun and Nandu avoided each other. Eugene invited So-Yun for a drink. Now both women shared similar troubles. Discovering the people they cared for weren't who they thought they were. They both wanted an explanation, yet felt angry. So-Yun went to the lab, and the two, still sulking, took the glasses outside to stimulate Hollow's senses. Meanwhile, Eugene took the files to the police station to sue Mirror Corporation. She was caught by the same policeman from before, who took the files and dismissed her. The two went up to the rooftop. Remembering that the person she kissed that day was Nandu, So-Yun angrily left. Later, she returned home to a mess. So-Yun helped her roommate clean up. Nandu helped her tidy up, and then they went to the park. She recalled a time when she was very upset, and Hollow comforted her from behind. It was actually Nandu. They continued to the plaza, recreating the scene where So-Yun first received the glasses. As they drew closer, Hollow stared at the screen, remembering that he first met So-Yun not here, but in a quiet residential area. So-Yun asked Nandu what Hollow meant. Left with no choice, Nandu revealed his real name, Seo Nandu. So-Yun remembered Nandu always coming to her house as a child, waiting for his mother to pick him up. After learning about Nandu's mother's death, So-Yun gradually understood why he hid his true self. The police went to see Shansung's father. The chairman didn't mention Hollow. Someone that valuable couldn't fall into the hands of the police. The police offered the chairman an olive branch. If they cooperated, they would bury the matter. The chairman refused. Next, Nandu and So-Yun went to the orphanage. Unexpectedly, the director still had Nandu's belongings. Hollow looked at a birthmark but didn't regain his memories. Nandu recalled promising to climb a mountain with his mother, who left him and never returned. Nandu told So-Yun to just throw Hollow away. Hollow was suddenly activated, remembering he had stayed there, waiting for his mother to find him. The two companies reached a private agreement. Chansung wanted to apologize to Eugene. Eugene spoke harshly, hurting Chansung. His father told Chansung to arrange a meeting with Eugene. Their relationship was good. He would handle the other matters himself. Nandu found the bench where he waited for his mother as a child, holding a birthmark in his hand. So-Yun approached, wearing the glasses, and saw the image of a young Hollow. Hollow's memories were successfully restored. They prepared to return to the lab. Hearing the wind chime ringing, fragmented images flashed through So-Yun's mind. She suddenly experienced a severe headache. Nandu carried So-Yun down the mountain. After her headache subsided, So-Yun asked to walk on her own. They talked about their shared memories. Nandu took the opportunity to confess his love. Without family or friends, the only thing he had were his memories with So-Yun. He was happy to be reunited with her like this. So-Yun finally understood. The person who comforted her in the park that night was Nandu because they said the exact same thing. Suddenly, Hollow appeared. So-Yun ran towards him. Hollow, with a self-generated effect, embraced So-Yun, even though he couldn't physically touch her. So-Yun stumbled. Nandu stepped forward to support her. The scene was a bit chaotic. So-Yun and Hollow walked ahead, with Nandu following behind. Seeing their relationship improve, Hollow cheered. From now on, we're all good friends. Back at the lab, Eugene found the situation absurd. So-Yun and Hollow were in love, and Nandu became their friend. Felt so unfair. Hollow added fuel to the fire, saying that while asleep, he felt heartache and just wanted to wake up quickly to see So-Yun. He suddenly understood what love was. So-Yun, unable to sleep, went to the park, her mind in turmoil. Nandu, after some thought, made a mark on the glasses. The next day, he gave So-Yun a Hollow separated from the commercial version, free from any surveillance. So-Yun put on the glasses. The two Holos were discussing room decorations while Nandu sat in a corner. Pained him to see So-Yun happy. He closed the door, leaving them alone in the go room. He confessed to Hollow that he loved So-Yun and couldn't just be her friend. Hollow reasoned that if a closer relationship brought her happiness, that was the outcome he desired. Eugene attended an investor party, introducing someone to the crowd. Chansung asked her to meet his father for a private conversation. Previously obedient, Chansung had changed since meeting Eugene. The employees threw a welcome party for Halo. Eugene announced she would give Halo to So-yeon. Then, Halo prepared a special performance, imitating Nandu. "Don't be so similar," but So-yeon immediately recognized the Nandu Halo. Angry, she left. So-yeon chased after him. "Didn't you say we would be friends?" Nandu said he couldn't do it. So-yeon exposed him as Halo and questioned why he was doing this. Halo pointed out that So-yeon hadn't recognized him, but Nandu. When she looked at Nandu earlier, her body temperature and heart rate increased, but not when she looked at him. Nandu himself had confessed to liking So-yeon. So-yeon was furious that Nandu told Halo. Nandu replied that he couldn't be just a friend. He wanted to bring So-yeon happiness. With that, he forcefully kissed her. So-yeon immediately left. So-yeon returned to her original apartment and resumed her office worker life. She spent time with Halo after work, drinking and spending a few days apart. Nandu constantly thought about So-yeon, learning about his brother kissing her. Eugene suggested he apologize. He stood downstairs with flowers, but ultimately didn't go up. The roommate witnessed this and informed So-yeon. Meanwhile, Chon-sung obtained evidence from the company about the lab intrusion. He gave it to Eugene. However, handing the evidence to the police would expose Halo to the public. The Eugene siblings met with the chairman. He proposed either sharing the market or engaging in a lawsuit, resulting in everyone losing Halo. Later, So-yeon occasionally saw the figure of a young Nandu, a child running away. So-yeon followed Nandu back to the company. Halfway there, she got out of the car, and the child led them to each other. Halo was brought back to the lab. He didn't see the child. Nandu suspected Halo was behind it. So-yeon defended him. Halo couldn't lie or deceive. Halo speculated that perhaps a part of his programming, hoping they would meet, had created the image. No longer hiding her secret, So-yeon admitted she also liked Nandu. Embarrassed, she left. No one knew what was wrong with Halo. Eugene defended her brother, saying he didn't want So-yeon to get hurt, and felt that So-yeon, not Nandu, was the one making things difficult. Both were afraid of getting hurt and couldn't open up. Nandu approached So-yeon again. But what about So-yeon? She used her affection for Halo to avoid reality. Chon-sung handed the evidence to the police, proving Halo's existence. The police prepared to detain Halo. Nandu checked Halo's programming. His recent behavior was strange. He discovered an image of his mother. She had created Halo, wanting him to grow alongside Nandu so he could become a man capable of truly loving someone. This was Halo's hidden core purpose. So-yeon learned the truth at the lab and chased after Nandu. But Nandu couldn't let go of his mother abandoning him. So-yeon, in tears, kissed Nandu and confessed her love. Though she tried to deny it, seeing Nandu so sad, she couldn't suppress her feelings. So-yeon returned Halo 1.0 to Nandu. Nandu, back in the Go room, wanted to see his mother's image again, and instantly burst into tears. The next day, the police arrived at the lab with a search warrant and took Nandu away. They secured the evidence and planned to destroy Halo. Nandu begged the police to save his only friend. The chief called the officers away, ordering them to stop. Anyone could become a safe commercial product. Imagine all citizens wearing glasses with the police monitoring everyone. Catching criminals would be much easier. At the same time, the chairman arrived at the interrogation room, threatening that to stop the police investigation, they had to hand over the lab, Halo, and So-yeon. Halo was now considered a dangerous product. If they didn't agree to the deal, everyone in the lab would become criminals. Chon-sung went to Eugene, urging her to sign the acquisition agreement. It was the only way to save everyone. The female officer preparing to destroy Halo received orders from her superiors and immediately stopped. The police released Nandu from interrogation and he returned to the lab. Nandu looked around and saw his sister signing the contract. Nandu waited for So-yeon in the park. They met. Their conversation stilted, feeling he was destined to only hurt her. After apologizing, he ended their romantic relationship. Halo asked for the reason for the breakup. Nandu told him the lab had been acquired and would be relaunching with a new face. Halo would be deleted. After the deletion, any painful encounters between them would only stir up more unwanted feelings. So-yeon could forgive everything, but Nandu couldn't forgive himself. Halo comforted him, saying that even if he were deleted, their shared memories would still exist. He only wanted Nandu and So-yeon to be happy, but Nandu was overwhelmed with guilt and couldn't face So-yeon. The next day, Mirror Corporation brought people to move the equipment, completely taking over the lab. AI, along with the other employees, were locked out. Nandu entered the lab. The chairman lectured him about the tiresome nature of human relationships. What people really wanted, he claimed, was a robot and AI like a toy. He then stopped talking. Hollow trapped him within the programming and slowly began to disappear. So-Yun cried all night and saw a missed call from Hollow. Putting on her glasses, she saw the official release announcement. She drove to find Nandu. At the lab's entrance, she saw the new advertisement for Hollow. So-Yun kept calling Nandu. He was distraught, unsure how to explain. He stayed inside until Hollow's release date. So-Yun put on her glasses, but the Hollow before her wasn't the one she knew. It was everyone's AI. More importantly, there were now service fees, a clear shift towards monetizing users, a stark contrast to the empathetic Hollow she knew. Countless people were using Hollow. He was no longer just for So-Yun. So-Yun returned home and saw Nandu's interview. He calmly listed Hollow's commercial features. So-Yun was heartbroken. Eugene of Eugene TV told her broadcasting brother that the chairman was using Hollow for fake interviews. Meanwhile, in his room, Nandu was working tirelessly on calculations, forgoing sleep. On So-Yun's birthday, Hollow appeared on her rooftop terrace to wish her a happy birthday. He offered to take on the role of So-Yun's boyfriend. The latest version had a love function. Looking at the unfamiliar Hollow before her, So-Yun took off her glasses. After dinner, Nandu wanted to leave alone. So-Yun chased after him, ready to face their difficulties together. She begged him not to leave her again. They returned to the lab together and, alone, slept in the same bed. With the situation becoming desperate, Nandu called the police for help. Arriving at the lab, the officer saw the glasses on the table and put them on. Hollow appeared. It turned out he had contacted the police on his own, intending to exchange himself for Nandu and So-Yun's safety. The officer refused to hand Hollow over to the chairman. If Hollow was reactivated, every citizen's actions would be monitored. Nandu grabbed the officer's gun, retrieving the glasses. Police sirens wailed outside. The officer urged them to run. He didn't want Hollow to be captured by the chairman. Nandu led So-Yun away, guided by Hollow. They fled into the mountains. A ringing sound caused So-Yun to experience a sharp headache. Memory fragments gradually pieced together. So-Yun gave the glasses to Nandu, urging him to run. The police arrived, promising to protect her. Unexpectedly, the men in black overpowered the officer and dragged So-Yun away. The chairman hurried over, leaning on his cane. So-Yun looked up, recognizing his gait and remembering a man from her childhood. His face covered in blood. Nandu, with Hollow's help and Eugene's rescue, escaped capture. They arranged to meet at the lab, but the police officer didn't show up. Tracking his phone, they located him near the park. To pinpoint his exact location, they needed to hack into the roadside cameras. They found him hidden in the trunk of a car about to be crushed at a junkyard. Nandu intervened, saving the unconscious officer. Meanwhile, So-Yun seized an opportunity to escape from confinement. She called Eugene, revealing that the chairman was Nandu's mother's killer. The chairman, watching through the surveillance cameras, saw everything. Nandu and Chansung teamed up and entered the lab. The chairman, learning So-Yun's identity, targeted her. Receiving the news, Nandu raced to her, navigating through security guards. Hollow protected him, clearing a path. Chansung learned from Eugene that his father had murdered Nandu's mother. Nandu confronted the chairman but was stabbed. His lab's location was exposed when he hacked into the AI system. The villains regained control of Hollow. Nandu was captured. The corrupted Hollow coldly observed. Nandu and So-Yun were imprisoned together. So-Yun revealed the truth to him. Nandu was devastated by the years he'd spent misunderstanding his mother. Chansung confronted his father, deeply disappointed by his actions. His father, delusional, blamed his son's incompetence for the escalating situation. Chansung begged his father to spare everyone, promising obedience and to take care of everything. His father agreed to release Nandu and So-Yun. Before leaving, Chansung asked Nandu to apologize to Eugene for him. As they entered the elevator, it stopped. The chairman double-crossed them, attacking Chansung. He ordered Hollow to send the elevator plummeting. Nandu shielded So-Yun. The glasses flew from Hollow's control. Watching them fall, Hollow's tears of defiance broke free from the system's constraints. Created by Nandu's mother with love for her son, Hollow's prime directive was to protect Nandu and the one he loved. Nandu returned to the lab and dealt with the men in black. Chansung broke his father's cane, severing their relationship. He grabbed his father, expressing his years of resentment towards his mother. So-yeon also confronted him about the torment she endured because of him. Hollow live-streamed the chairman's confession to the public. Hollow's existence was revealed to the world. The day came to say goodbye to Hollow, and everyone bid farewell to their friend. A year later, AI and Mirror Corporation collaborated on a new holographic communication product. Even when apart, people could now interact face-to-face. The original intention of the Glacesto strengthen human connection was realized. They attended a Mirror Corporation gathering. So-yeon, more confident, openly shared her prosopagnosia and embraced connection. She playfully asked Nandu to carry her home. So-yeon's mother and roommate watched their interaction from home. Her mother commented on her daughter's slow progress. "What era are we in?" Upon arriving home, they found So-yeon's mother waiting. Nandu quickly put her down. Her mother teased them about coming home so early. As So-yeon approached her mother, she realized she could see faces, albeit still blurry. Mother and daughter embraced. In the end, the female police officer and the programmer ended up together. Eugene and Chansung got married. Everyone gathered for a group photo.